What's up, people? Orseofkorse here, coming at you with another Paragon deck build. Today, we're going to be looking at my boy Feng Mao. I'm running him Chaos Death. I have this deck set up to where it can be very bruiser tank, or it can be glass cannon in a way. So I'm going to run through my thought process and how I build them with certain situations. And if you like it, use it. If not, feel free to build your own. It's all good. Thank you for watching. Let's get into it. So here are the cards that I'm building for them as of now. I'm going to go ahead and go through each and my rationale for it, and then we'll get to some gameplay. So first and foremost, the card I get is the Living Guardian. I like this card because of the fortifying strikes. So basically, every time you land a basic attack, you get 2 basic armor. I like this because you know most of the time, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, you're going to be going against a carry, right? You're going to be going against somebody who's doing mostly physical damage to you. So having this card will just allow you to take more hits and allow you to be more aggressive in pushing, especially with Feng Mao, since you already have a shield and you have fortifying strikes. So you know you can suck up quite a bit of damage before you have to like dash out of there. So I like this card because it just allows you to put that pressure on. Next up, I'm going to talk about the Possessed Spren. I think this card is going to get nerfed here eventually, but for right now, I think it's arguably one of, if not the best card in the game, pound for pound. This card gives you 8 power, 120 health, and then more importantly, it gives you the 12.5 health regen. If you are getting last hits fairly well, you can get this card within, like, before 4 minutes, really, if you have a chance to go back. I mean, because I've gotten it as early as 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes. You can get it fairly quickly. And this card right here will allow you to bully the off lane so much, because that 12.5 regen is ridiculous. It's hard for them to out DPS you before you can kill one of them. So I really recommend Possessed Spren. Next up, we got the Nitro Boost. Gives you the 6 power. More importantly, though, it gives you the 20% movement speed buff. I like this card right here because once you dash on them, sometimes like Murdoch will knock you back. This card right here will allow you to close that distance again, and just allow you to run people down in general. So I really like this card right here for that reason. The 6 power is just a boost, I guess. Now let's go Guard Piercer. So this card right here is more of like an optional card. I put it in there just as a milestone. Guard Piercer is good because it gives you the 16 power, and it also gives you the 16 basic armor penetration. So it basically just makes you hit harder. So I like the card. I never keep it till end game, of course, but it's a good card to have, you know, once you get a couple of points in your agility tree. So yeah, good card right there. Overclock Droid. This card I never really equip, but I always put it in decks like this simply because it is a good card. The 7 power, 13 attack speed, good stats, and the Frenzy. You gain 32 attack speed, 20% movement speed for 6 seconds. You take 15 additional damage. Very situational card. Every once in a while I will put it on, especially if the enemy team isn't doing a lot of damage. It might be a good card to put on then. So use it sparingly. Use it when you think you have a good opportunity for it, but that's up to you. Now right here we have Swamp Soccer. I like this card right here because the stats are okay. 13 power, 11 attack speed, but Isolate is why I really like it. With Feng Mao, you're probably going to be alone a lot of the times, so the Isolate really will aid to that playstyle. Basic attack deal 30 bonus damage when you have no allies nearby. So this will help you with farming and with just trying to deal that extra damage to the people that you're laning against. So I like Swamp Soccer. Like I say, this one isn't a late game card either, or a card that I keep till end game, but it's a good card to have midway through. Now, as we get to these last cards here, I fluctuate with these depending on the situation. So let's talk about this one first. So this card gives you 6 power, 36 ability armor, and then purify yourself of all debuffs and deal 75 ability damage to nearby enemy units per negative effect removed. So I like this card, but I only equipped it when I'm going against very strong casters. Like if I have a Gideon that I'm laning, or that's in the game, or like Gideon in Countess or in Shimbi, when there's a lot of casters on the enemy team, I'll put on this card right here. Simply because that ability armor makes you that much more tanky, makes you that much harder to kill. So I like having this card on there only when the team is stacked with casters. If there's like one caster or 2 strong casters, then maybe not. But especially when there's 3, which happens fairly often now. Gideon in the mid, and then Shimbi in the off lane, and then there's usually like a strong caster like Faye or something to play in support. I see that more often than I would like. So every once in a while I will throw that card in there. Next card right here is Wound Seeker. This card gives you 19 power, 21 attack speed. I like those stats, and then it gives you 2 bonuses here. The Hunter's Pierce, which ignores basic armor against critically wounded enemy units, and then basic attack applies blight to critically wounded targets. Now, this card right here, I put on when I really am bullying another team. Because I know I can get in there and I can do some big damage. I'll go ahead and I'll equip Wound Seeker, and even in team fights, it's also helpful because it will just slow them down. It keeps them from healing, all that good stuff. So for this card, if I'm really bullying a team, or if we're just team fighting really well, I'll put this card on there to make sure that we get those executions, make sure that we finish. Now, Numbing Rogue, this card I put on if they have a lot of melee champions who are doing good damage. Like if they have a lot of fighters on their team or a carry who's doing especially good damage, I'll put on the Numbing Rogue. Because this card gives you the 300 health and a 36 basic armor. And then nearby enemy units have their speed slowed by 20%. This effect does not stack. So it also slows down their attack speed as well. So I really like that. But like I say, situational. Only when I find a need for it. Unstable Cyborg is another situational card. 14 power, 36 basic armor. Same rationale as Numbing Rogue, basically. Like if they have a very strong melee team, I'll usually end with these two cards. Just because that basic armor will make me just a terror to deal with, and I'll still be doing pretty good damage. So I think it works out pretty well for me. Now, in case you don't know, Reactive Burst, 20% chance to deal 65 ability damage to nearby enemies when taking damage. So really good for that as well. You'll be hard to kill, and you'll be doing damage to them as they're trying to kill you. So I like that. Right here we got Shatter Golem. 21 power, 18 attack speed. Good stats. Very expensive card though. And basic attacks have a 20% chance to deal 100% bonus damage. Now, if I do want to go Glass Cannon, I'll throw on the Shatter Golem. Not very often do I want to go Glass Cannon though. But I put it in there just in case. More often than not, though, I'll go a Vampiric Blade over the Shatter Golem. Because, like I say, I like to play him more of a bruiser, and this will help you play towards that style. Because it gives you the 12 power, which is good, the 20 attack speed, awesome, and the 240 health. So it will allow you to take more blows, and you're also going to be dealing pretty good damage. But the thing that's really great about this is the Overflowing Feast. You gain 150 lifesteal for 3 seconds. And then your passive, you gain 10 lifesteal. So with the lifesteal gem off rip, you'll have 20 lifesteal. And then once you really want to bump it up, or when you get into trouble, you hit the card, gain 150 lifesteal. So that's my rationale for Feng Mao. Usually the cards that I end with is Vampiric Blade, and then either Numbing Rogue or Wound Seeker, depending on how I'm playing. Every once in a while it'll be Unstable Cyborg, but it's usually definitely Vampiric Blade, and then one of these three right here, and then Possessed Spriken. So like I say, it's all situational. Pick as you see fit. As far as gems go, I have the Auto Health Potion as one. I have Fast Travel as another one. I really like having that 10% move speed boost. It helps me out so much. Just closing that distance and not sneaking up on people, but closing in on people so much faster is just invaluable almost. Lifesteal, can't beat that. 10% lifesteal. And then Duelist. I like this card or this gem right here because you take 20% less damage from any hero you hit with basic attack. So like I say, it helps more towards that bruiser tank type of build that I'm going for. So I really like that for that reason. I go Healing Towers for early game because even if you're playing really aggressively, there's going to be times when you have to back off. So going under tower and being able to regen that health is going to help you so much, especially on top of Possessed Spriken. You'll be good. Then last one is damage reduction, reduce basic damage taken by 10%. So that on top of what Duelist, you are sucking up a lot of damage. You're able to stay in the fights longer. So those are the gems that I'm using. This deck seems to work very well for me. So I'm going to show you a little gameplay from some Feng Mao matches that I have, and you'll kind of see how the deck looks and how it works closer to in-game and all that. If you made it this far, awesome. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay. What's up, people? I appreciate that you made it all the way to the gameplay. Um, in this gameplay, I actually ended up having to go Jungle Fang instead of offlane, which is fine. I mean, a lot of the cards are the same. The gems are different, obviously. But I wasn't expecting to go jungle, so I don't have cards like equipped in the beginning of the game here. But it's all good. We're still going to make it work. Now, early on here, I'm a little bit worried because I'm looking over at this at this Shinbi in the off lane, and she was taking a lot of damage fairly early here. So I'm hoping that she's gonna be able to hold her own, and I think she's doing okay. So we're gonna go ahead and jump through this and see what we can do. Okay. So we end up leaving the jungle a little bit early. We leave one white minion up so we can get over here and help out Pokemaster, because it seems like he's getting harassed pretty well by the Shinbi, the enemy Shinbi. But we do run up on this Rampage, who's a little weak, and we promptly miss a dash, of course. And then we try to get this Shinbi, but she dashes away. But luckily, Rampage comes back in for some reason that I don't understand. So then I come around this corner, and I guess he turns around like he's gonna run away. You mind, boy. So I don't know why he comes back in, but we end up getting that. So we don't have to go home alone. We took home Rampage. I like it. So we end up getting one kill on that. Was it pretty? Nah, but we end up getting it. So that's all that counts, really. So we let Pokemaster go back, and I'm going to push this lane up a little bit, simply so that she has a little breathing room, or he. I'm assuming it's a he, because like Pokemaster has to be a dude. So we push this up so he has a little breathing space so he can get back, go get his cars or whatever. So good kill, good kill. So right here is a pretty clean play. I get the shadow buff, and the Gideon sees me get it. I don't know, I'm not sure why he stays in like this. Because he knows that both of us are missing, but he stays in, so I open up on him, and of course he tries to teleport away, but he doesn't have any mana, so we're just gonna tear him down. That nice Howie mine, and it's a wrap. GG. That was a sexy play on the Howitzer part, because I would have had to dive if I wanted to get him. So well done on Howie. You don't see Howitzers too often anymore either. So right here we're waiting on this what is this chick's name? Aurora. And right here, I'm thinking, hey, we got her outnumbered. Let's just take this tower. And then for some reason, my Steel starts whacking at her. And I'm not sure why. But then on top of that, my Murdoch starts whacking at her too. They're both going for this kill. And I'm not sure why. And they both end up dying for this. Which I thought was crazy. But you can hear me while I'm playing, like, see, are you serious? But that just surprised the heck out of me. Like, we should have just taken that, and then if she stayed out, we should have jumped on her. If she didn't, oh well, let's keep pushing up to her tier 2. So I thought that was weird, but it happens sometimes. Solo queue, no comms. It is what it is. Then Wu Daddy comes out, and Wukong is hitting hard, by the way. So right here, we're going to make a move on this middle tower here. Howitzer is at a little more than half health. Or not Howitzer, Gideon. So he's in a little bit of trouble here, considering 3 people are coming. But he stays under there. I mean, he's going to try to protect this tower. Hit him with the ult. Hit him with that dash. So right there, he's almost done. Our Howitzer is able to come in with that crispy rocket and end it. And he doesn't die. And we're going to chop down this mid tower. Easy peasy, easy peasy. Now that's what I like. And they're down pretty good. And there we go. Sorry, you can hear double me, but it is what it is. So we got that middle tower down. This guy's just going pretty well. Let's see the next clip here. So right here, we're gonna make a move on Aurora over in the right lane. We get her down pretty low, so I'm able to come over here and clean up pretty well here. Boom, and there she goes. Didn't even have to ult on the girl because she's done. And this is pretty much the end of the game right here. Not much after this point. The team ended up surrendering. Their Rampage quit. And just a little side note, people, like, if you're, I don't know. I know everybody's time is valuable, but like, if you're playing a match, like, don't just quit. Because it makes it very hard to win. Almost impossible with a 4v5. If you're playing against people at your same skill level. So don't just leave your team because you're having a bad game. It makes the experience just for everybody. But it is what it is. So right here, this is the last play really. Wukong is coming for Fangtooth, I guess, and I end up missing my dash, of course. But it works out because Still gets his ult off, and we chop him down so quick. And he tries to jump away, but he can't get away. It's a wrap. So that's pretty much it. At this point, we're going to grab Fangtooth, and I think the game goes for a couple more minutes, and Wukong does end up killing me a few times. He hits really hard. But overall, that was it. So people, sorry that this wasn't showing him in the off lane, but I'll try to get an off lane gameplay up soon. But it's about the same. Just wanted to show you how what Feng Mao is capable of, really. And yeah. So if you like this, make sure to hit that sub button. Like the video, share it out if you think it'll help somebody out, and it helps me out a bunch. Also, let me know who you're enjoying the most in the off lane or in the jungle right now. I'm curious to hear who you're playing. And that's it, people. This is Orseofkorse. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.